So let me first send in. So this is the file for today's class. So you may continue viewing it through the screen sharing if it is visible, or you can just open the file on any screen that you are viewing this on. So touch the lid to everyone, and welcome to our Tibetan basic class. Tibetan basic conversation class. And today we will learn how to ask for someone's job or occupation, to ask what does someone do for a living. And with that, I have also here some occupations written in Tibetan. And if you would like me to actually give you the Tibetan of any particular occupation, then you can just write it in the chat, or you can just write it in the group and I will do that. So before that, we had some assignments last time, and I have received some of the assignments, and I have already corrected them and sent them to the ones who have sent it to me. And those who haven't submitted the assignment, please do so, so that I could actually see, or I could actually see how much progress is being made through the class. So we have started from greetings, and in today's class we will discuss on occupation. So and accordingly, so we will cover different scenarios and different things which are important in conversation, as well as trying to build up more vocabulary. So therefore, there will be relatively more assignments coming in with the lessons. So touch the lid to everyone. And today we're going to learn or study how to ask for someone else's occupation or job. Okay, so 강사 당보, the first person. 뜻이 들려 치링라. 뜻이 들려 치링라. 뜻이 들려 치링라. So here we see that the first person is greeting the second person, who is 치링라. So 뜻이 들려 치링라. So the response is 뜻이 들려 뜻이라 국함상. So we see that the response is to greet them back, and then to say, I wish you a good health, or I wish a good health to you. So kukamsang refers to wishing someone a good health, and particularly it talks more about the physical well-being rather than the mental. So it's wishing someone a good physical health. kukamsang. kukamsang. So when someone greets us or someone wishes us good health, we wish it back to them. So kukamsang. Kenaning kashi. So you will see, actually you will see one or two variation of this particular particle, which is kashi. You might have also heard of kashi, with the ka instead of ka. So instead of kashe, it becomes kashe. So, and then in certain cases, you will also see it as instead of she, it can also be written as ga. So these are some variations. So let me just see if I can get, okay. So the Tibetan. So here we have this in the file. So another variation could be this kashe, and then there are variation ka. All of these means some. So all of these refer to the word some. So we see that here we have used kashe. So you see that here we have used kashe. You can also use kashe, and you can also use ga. So you can say nin kashe, nin kashe, nin ga. And all of these means, all of these have a meaning that says some. Kena nin kashe tong ma song we chir pepin nam. Kena nin kashe tong ma song we chir pepin nam. So this particular particle here, sa, what it does is that it tries to derive a reasoning. So it acts as a particle that tries to derive or tries to bring out a reasoning. So it's trying to ask for a reason. So kena nin kashe tong ma song we. So it's asking for the reason why he has not seen him for the past few days. And he's asking, is it because which means, is it because you went outside or out of station? So we see that in this particular sentence, the person is asking someone if whether they have been outside, because they have not seen them for few days, for the past few days. So the particular dialogue means good health to you too, which is a response to them wishing us a good health. I haven't seen you for the past few days. It seems you were gone out of station. Lahin. So whenever someone asks us whether we were out of the station or not, so there are two responses. Either we say yes or we say no. And the more polite way to say it is lahi, la me. La always being a response to someone speaking or acknowledgement to someone speaking in a more polite way. So you can say lahi, la me. Lain means yes, la me means no. So here we see that the person responds as lain, which means yes. I had to go out of station in regards to my work. So even though in this very particular context, we see that the work or job, which is the reason why the person had to go out of station, the job is the person's job, so therefore there is no need to write nge, which is a pronoun that indicates a possessiveness, a possessive pronoun. So there is no need for the usage of this particular word nge, because we know that we infer that the work because of which the person had to go out of station was that person's own job. So therefore, there is no need to write nge. Here it is more inferential, so there is no need to write it. So langi leka tantel drogu chonsong. So you don't have to say langi ngarang leka tantel. So there's no need to say ngarang or nge leka tantel, because it is inferential that the work was of that particular person. So instead of saying nge or ngarang ki leka, we can directly say leka tantel. Leka tantel drogu chonsong. So yes, I had to go out of station in regards to my work. So if you had to go out in regards to your job or work, you say leka tantel. If it has nothing to do with the job or work, you can say lai leka keme. Leka keme meaning or leka khayame. So this is another particle k, which is more of a colloquial particle. So instead of k, is lai leka khaya me, or leka mixal khaya me. So you see that in that particular context, we say that we don't have a particular work or a reason to go out, but we just went. So, but in this case, the person went out in regards to their job. Lasso. So this is a more casual way of asking someone without the usage of any honorifics or anything. So we say lasso, which is saying okay. Sometimes people say yeah, or yeah, or yeah, but that is more casual way to say it. So lakso, chidang tsiring la lega kang chegi yuetam. Okay, so generally, what do you do for a living? So the first person, Tashila, is asking Tringla, what does Tringla do for living normally? So this is a way to ask for someone's occupation. We can either say, Kena lega kang cheki yu. So if you know the person, then you can use their name. For example, in this case, we have Tringla. You can say, Tringla lega kang cheki yu tam. So here we see that we are asking Tringla, what does Tringla do for living normally? La, ngani lole cheleba yin. So lole means computer, cheleba means engineer. Sometimes also understood as an expert. So computer expert or computer engineer. So the very term lok means electricity, le means brain. So something that has an electrical brain. So computer. There are other terms for computer. One of which is a machine to do computation or calculations. In Tibetan, we have Tsiche Trulkor. Tiche means a machine that is for the purpose to compute or to calculate. And Tulkor means a machine. So there are other terms for a computer, but one of the most common one that everyone uses is lole. La ngani lole chile bayin. I am a computer engineer. Chilepa normally means both engineer as well as an expert, someone that is expert or someone who is qualified to do a certain job. That is called chilepa. Yes, we can also say chargepa. Chargepa is also a term. When we say chargepa, it's someone that designs or someone who plans the design of a computer. So chargepa is also correct if you want to use. So these are terms for engineer. If I'll just break down this particular term, which is chargepa, which is also a wonderful term. Char comes from charshi, meaning planning, meaning a vision for how it should be. Ke means someone that's puts that into writing, someone that brings out the blueprint, who states or writes the blueprint. So therefore, you can also say loleki chargepa, which also has a meaning of computer engineer. Lasso. So nga lole chelepa hi, nga lole chargepa, nga loleki chargepa hi. So these are terms that you can use for computer engineer. Lexo, which means excellent or perfect. Tane lole tang de lega kang yuna siring rala rena choko. So Tashila says, excellent. Now I will request Tringlas aid whenever there will be computer related issue. So now knowing that Tringla is a computer engineer, whenever my computer starts acting up or there is an issue with my computer, I will request Tringla's aid in those issues. So this is the response that Tashila gave. And the response Tringla gave is La yin, which means, oh, of course, or definitely, yin, meaning there is not even a slightest shroud of doubt there. He says, definitely, 100%, I will help you with the computer when you need it. So this particular usage here with the particle kin. Normally, it is a particle, a connective particle, usually used for the relative case of terms. So normally there are different relations between terms, two different terms. Sometimes it could be the relation of the object and the owner. Sometimes it could be of the cause and effect. Sometimes it could be of the system and its different parts. Sometimes it could be of the material and the object. So many different relations. So this is a particular particle which helps us understand the relation between any two terms. So Nangkin Yuetam, which means Tashila, what do you do for living? So this is another way of asking someone. You can either ask, oh, Kena lega kanga cheki yutam or kena chale kanga nangki yutam. And when you say chagle, chagle is the honorific for leka. And nang kin yu is the honorific of cheki yu. So here this is it may be used in a casual form or casual setting, but this is with more honorific. So you're using more honorific, being more polite in case. So you can either say kiran lega kanga cheki yutam or kiran chale kanga nangki yutam. Both of them have the same meaning, which is to ask someone of their job, but one is casual without honorific, and the second one can be used in both casual as well as formal setting with honorific. And then there are more casual way to say it. So therefore, you see that you can either use keran lega kang cheki yutam or keran chale kang nangkin yutam. Both of these means, what do you do for a living? So, of course, what do you do for a living, Tashila? So the person is asking Tashila, what does Tashila do for a living? La, ngani pui gegein. Oh, lak is just a polite way of acknowledging that you have heard what was said to you, and then you're responding. Normally, in some casual cases, you may also use ah. You can say ah, but la is more polite, it's more gentle, and it's much better to hear when someone say la. So la, ngani pui gegin. I am a Tibetan teacher. So this is what Tashila is saying. He's saying that he is a Tibetan teacher. So there are some words. So whenever you come across some new words in the script, please make sure that you just highlight them or write them at the side. So for example, now in this case, you will see that I will explain some of the words. So if in these cases, make sure that you're writing them down. So the first one is, so Gege is teacher. Most of you may know this. Gege is teacher. Dingrim Lobta. Dingrim Lobta means middle school. Ding is middle. Dingrim is medium level or middle level, or Lobta means school. So middle school. So Dingrim Lobta. So Dingrim Lobte. Lobtru means students. Lobtruk means students. Namla. Lobti means to teach. Lobti means to teach. To teach someone. Lobti. And if you want to use an honorific for lobti, in case of like teaching source, in case you're receiving teaching, then you can use the word kati. No need to have this ha with this, because the ka already has a ha. So you can say kati. So kati is similar to teaching, but the difference between kati and lobti is normally referred to classes that you have to during your daily day-to-day lives, whereas the term lobti that is used in a different context, which is of teaching given by some lamas. So kati and lobti both are teaching, One is the teaching that is given to you by teachers in the school. Other is the teaching given by the lamas. So in this case, we have lobti. And the teaching that you receive from your teachers, like for example, in classes, you can call them lobti. But if it's something that has to do with it's a teaching that is related to Buddhism or any other teaching related to any teaching that you receive, you may call it gati. So this is the honorific for lobti, which means to teach. So la ngani pui gegen. I am a Tibetan teacher. Dingrim lobte lobtu namla lobti cheki. I teach middle school students. Lasso. So you see that in this particular response, we see two lasso, and this is a way to show respect. Normally, in the Tibetan tradition, we have great respect for teachers. So it's like lasso is a way to show double the politeness, lasso. And normally it happens like this. The first one is normally the first one itself is very gentle, but the second one is even more gentle than the first one when you say lasso. And sometimes the second one is a little bit more stretched. Hajang yaki. Yaki means very good, It's a way to say very good. Hajang yaki means very good. Nge kyang, nge, which is I, nge kyang pui, jong de yue pe, shi la la kyam ju shu yin. So now the response is, oh, okay. I also want to learn Tibetan. I request Tashila for his aid in learning Tibetan. So Kyamju is to say I request. Normally Kyamju means to go into refuge, but here it's more like to request. So I request Tashila for his aid in learning Tibetan. So the person is requesting Tashila for his aid in learning Tibetan. And the response is lasso, yindayi, which is of course. Yindayi means of course. So we see that in this particular conversation, we see there were two people, Tashila and Siringla, and the conversation was mainly focused on asking each other's occupation. Sometimes you can just directly say that. In this case, we see that Tashila and Siringla both knew each other. Definitely, they were talking for the past 5 classes, so they are quite acquainted to each other. So therefore, now that they know each other a little bit, they were able to ask each other for their occupation, their job. But in other cases, you can have the same conversation in the first time when you meet people. And then you can you don't have to go through the case where you have to say, oh, I didn't see you for a few days. Instead, you can directly ask, what do you do for a living? Or both of these will help you ask this particular question. And then the other person will answer, I work this or I do this for a living. So yes, we see that this is the way you can ask questions regarding people's occupation. So now I have, first we will go through this, which is some of the occupations that I have written in both Tibetan and in English. These are to boost your vocabulary. Those of you who wants to boost your vocabulary in Tibetan, I am providing you with these vocabulary, and I most humbly request every one of you to study these so that your vocabulary will be much richer by the end of the course on basic Tibetan conversation. So the first occupation is Gege, which is teacher. So someone who teaches a subject. And the second one is Xingba. Xing refers to farm or field. Xingba, the one who works in the farm or the field, the farmer. We also have another term for this, not just Xingba. We have the term which is Sunampa, which is also a term that is used for farmer. So we can also say Sunampa or Xingba. And then we have Tsenrikpa. Tsenrik, which means science. Tsenrikpa means the one who researches and studies science. So scientists are called Tsenrikpa. Sometimes people also call them Nyamshipa, which is not correct, because Nyamshipa means researcher. And just because someone is a researcher doesn't mean that they are a researcher in the field of science. So it's better to use the word Tsenrikpa. And then Mempa, which means doctor. There are other words also. We also use the word Amchi or Haje. So these are other terms that we use for doctor, but normally we use Mempa or Amchi. Korsongwa, police. Korsongwa means police. Kor means the one who makes round. Sung means to protect, the one who makes round and protect people. Tipa, which means accountant. So Tipa is someone who does accounting. Then we have Chongpa. Chong means to do trade. Chongpa are the merchant or the trader. Menshapa. Men refers to medicine. Shap means to do service, to help someone being in the field of medicine. Menshapa means nurse. Timziba. Tim means law. Zi means to argue. So ones who argue in the field of law, so lawyer. Tropa means nomad, people who migrate during summers and winters, taking their animals from one place to another to graze. Maje means cook, people who cook food, cook. Lotsawa is translator. Genzi, Gen means responsibility. Zin means the one who takes the responsibility. So Genzi is the manager. Sheba, She means songs. Sheba refers to singer. So these are some of the occupations. Gege. So teacher, Shingpa, farmer, Tsengripa, scientist, Memba, doctor, Korsongwa, police, Ziba, accountant, Songba, merchant, Menshaba, nurse, Timzeba, lawyer, Drogba, nomad, Maje, cook, Lodzawa, translator, Genzi, manager, Sheba, singer. So these are some of the occupations that I have written in Tibetan. And if you want me to give you the Tibetan term for certain occupation, you can. Yes, this is also another term, Kegur. So a translator is also called Kegur. Ke referring to language, Gur, the one who translates, or the one who does a one who takes a language, and then what they do is they take this particular thing from one language and then change it in other language. So Kegur. Yes, so similar. Lotsawa and Kegur are both same. So now let us go with the honorifics for this week. So each week we introduce 10 terms as honorifics. So the first one is sama or kala. So which means food. And the honorifics for sama or kala is shela. So the honorific comes from the honorific for the term ka. Ka is the casual colloquial term. When written in honorific, it becomes shel. So kala becomes shela. Tsampa, which means the barley flour, is called sulship. Sulship. Then we have cha, which means the tea, any type of tea. It can also refer to coffee. Normally we call coffee tsikcha. Tsik means roasted, which for me particularly, I feel that it is a little contradicting, because all of the tea leaves are also burned and roasted. So I feel that cha is a term that is pervasive to everything. So cha or tea, the honorific is sulcha. Mar, which is butter, the honorific is sulmar. Then we have sha, which refers to meat, and the honorific is sultum. Sho, curd, sulsho. Chu, which is water, is chap. Tang, which means soup, is shetang. Ca, salt, is jakca. Sipe, which is chili, is called jakpe. So these are the 10 honorifics that is for this week. And we have, I think, almost 14, if I'm not wrong. We have 14 new words, which has to do with the occupation. So yes, so I guess this is it for today regarding the lesson. So if anyone has questions regarding today's lesson, please ask away. So we are actually getting we're actually covering more and more of introducing ourselves. So there are other important nouns which you will have to use in your day-to-day life. So we will come to those as we move forward with our lessons. So therefore, mostly everything that has to do with the basic conversation and the terms which comes in use from day-to-day life will be covered in this class. So those of you who are thinking that they need to work on the vocabulary, we will be introducing a lot of probably from now on during each classes, we will have 10 new vocabulary. So by the end of the course, you will have probably 1,000 to 2,000 new words in your inventory of words. So make sure that you revise all of these words and try to use them in sentence. And you can send the sentences that you have made using the words in the group so that everyone can learn from it. Lasso, so any questions regarding today's lesson? So it seems there's no questions today regarding this lesson. In that case, let me ask some of the questions regarding the lessons that we have already done. And let's see. So the first question regarding the lessons that we have done has to do with the greetings. So the first question is, what is the greeting that you're going to, what is the greeting that you can use to wish someone for a particular duration of a time, of a day? So what is the greeting that you will do for particular duration of time of a day? How would you greet them? So what are the greetings that you use to greet someone during a particular time of a day? So when I say particular time of a day, I don't mean a particular time as in a particular time, a specific time, but a specific part of a day. For example, during morning or afternoon or evening, or if you're wishing someone during the nighttime. What are the greetings that we use during those particular time of day?
Shukpadile,
Lasso,
Ninkumdile,
yes. And what about evening? How would you greet someone if you meet
I
them?
forgot. Is it
Gonto Delek.
Gongzhou Delek.
Correct.
It's Gongzhou Delek. And what is another greeting for the same time? If it's late evening, what would you say?
심전난고.
Simjanango is a farewell. So we discussed that there is, yes, we can say Chirodele. So Simjanango and Jelajeyong are farewell. These are not considered to be greetings. These are farewell. When we use them when we have to say goodbye to someone. So these are farewell and not greetings. So if it's late in the evening, we say Chirodele. Lasso. So the second question is how will you ask someone where they are from? How will you ask someone where they are from? So how do you ask someone where they are from? How to say where are you from in Tibetan?
Is it Kerang ki lungpa karere?
We can say that Kerangi Lungpa Kaneres, but what is the particular thing that we have Kerang Kanein? So yes, Kerang Kanein, but we have already studied that whenever it's a question, we always add a particular particle, Kerang Kanein Nam. So always the addition of the particle, Kerang Kanein Nam. Okay, and another way to ask for someone's hometown. Another way to ask for someone's hometown.
Kerang Nang Kang Dung Yuan Tam.
Kerang Nang Kang to Yuetam.
Yuan Tam.
Okay, so you can ask Kerang Kinang Kang to Yuetam. And then another way to ask it would be Kerangi Payu Kainam. Yes, so this you can ask Kerangi Payu Kanein. So there are a few ways to ask for someone's hometown. Kerang Kaneinam, Kerang Kinang Kang to Yutam, Kerangi Payu Kainam, or Kerangi Kitrong or Trongpa, Kerangi Trongpa Kang to Yutam, which is where is your village? Okay, so what are the, so normally we say Kerang Min Kangre. What is the more formal, more polite way of asking the same question? Kerangi Min Kangre. What is the honorific of Ming?
Chain.
Yes. So how will you ask someone using this using this honorific? What is your name?
Kerang Ki Chain La Kang Sugi Yuan Nam.
Yue Tam. So Kerangi Tsen La Kang Shuki Yue Tam. Ye Tsen La Kang Shui Yue, but with the addition of so Kerangi Tsen La Kang Shui Yue Tam. So one clarification, we don't use kare. So please don't use kare. Always use kang. And tam to indicate it's a question. Because it has a suffix ta, it will be followed by tam. Here it's the suffix na, so it will be followed by nam. So this is the grammatical rule. So kenangi tse la kang shui yue tam is to ask what is your name. Okay. So what is the term for uncle from the father's side? What is the term for uncle but from the father's side? Uncle, but from the father's side. So the younger or elder brother of one's father is called
Aku.
yes, it's called aku. And what is the sister of mother called? The sister of mother. It is sumo. So the sister of mother is called sumo. Yes, sumo. And what about brother of mother? Uncle, who is the brother of one's mother, what is it called in Tibetan?
Ashang.
Yes, ashang. It's called ashang. What do you mean by momo la? Momo lak. What do you mean by momo lak?
Grandma.
Yes, grandmother. It's called momola. Okay, what is the meaning of the word mepo? Mepo. Mepo.
Ancestor.
Yes. Or ancestor or grandfather. So it's ancestor or grandfather. What is the Tibetan term for father? Tibetan term
Pala.
for yes, pala.
Yep.
And what do you mean by singmo? Singmo. Singmo. What do you mean by singmo? Yes, younger sister, singmo. What is the term for elder sister? Elder sister.
Acha.
Yes, Acha. And what is the term for mother?
Amara.
Amala. Yes, it is Amala. And what is the term for elder brother? Elder brother.
Chocho.
Jojo.
No.
Yes, Jojola or Jojola or Chempola. And what is the term for younger brother? The term for younger brother. Yes, Chungpo. Okay, so I think we have time for 2 more questions. What is the honorific for, so this we have already had it in the assignment. What is the honorific for nose? First, what is the Tibetan word for nose? What is the Tibetan word for nose? Yes, ha. So what is the honorific of na?
Shang.
Shang. Wonderful. What is the Tibetan word for forehead? What is the Tibetan word for forehead? The Tibetan word for forehead.
Dawa.
Yes, telwa. So it's telwa. And what is the honorific of telwa? What is the honorific for telwa?
Uda.
Utel, right? It is utel. Okay, now the final question is, what is the Tibetan word for hand? What is the Tibetan word for hand? What is the Tibetan word for hand?
Lapa.
And what is the honorific?
Cha.
Wonderful. So so this was a gentle reminder to everyone. So please revise everything if you have time. If you get time, please revise everything, and I'll make sure that I remind you this on the group. So I'll try to bring up the lessons that we have done in the group and try to discuss it there also as much as possible. So so that you'll be in touch with the lessons, so that at the end of the course you'll actually be able to speak a little bit of Tibetan, you see. So this is our goal with this course. So let's hope that it happens. And so now today we were studying how to ask for someone's occupation, and then we studied different occupations in Tibetan. And if you want me to give you the Tibetan word for certain occupation, then just send it to me directly or in the group, and I will just write the Tibetan for that. So your work after the class would be to study these occupations, and then to study the honorifics and the colloquial. So this would be your assignment for this class. Next class, we will probably study some, we'll try to study a little bit of numbers and different type of fruit and vegetables in the next class so that we can enrich our vocabulary. So this week and next week, we're going to focus on vocabulary. So I'm very sorry if there will be many vocabulary, and I'm sorry if it becomes a little boring because it has to do with vocabulary, but I want to enrich your vocabulary so that later our conversation would be more interesting. So this week and next week, we'll work on vocabulary. We'll try to work on as much vocabulary as possible. So there will be quite a good amount of vocabulary. So please revise them later on. So this is it for today's class. And I hope that it was beneficial. And we will have our next class on, I think the next class would be, I think it's on Tuesday, I think. It's probably on Tuesday. So I'll see you on Tuesday. And those who are joining me for the grammar class, I'll see you on Monday. And I'll see you on Monday. And probably I'll still have to send you assignment for the grammar class, which I will do. So this is it for today's class. Thank you for joining in. I hope this was beneficial, and I will see every one of you on either Monday or on Tuesday. So have a good evening and Tashitile.
Xin chào Ken là sẽ đâu có lời
Lasso.